प्रणाम, मैं कौटिल्य पंडित। सर्वप्रथम मैं कहूँगा कि भारतवर्ष के अलग अलग कोनों से आए हुए इतने विलक्षण और प्रतिभावान बच्चों को एक साथ एक छत के नीचे देखे मैं तो अभिभूत हो गया हूँ। और एक बार पुनः आप सभी के लिए ज़ोरदार तालियां, क्योंकि जब इतने अलग अलग क्षेत्रों से लोग आते हैं और वे कुछ बड़ा कर रहे हैं, कुछ नया करने के लिए प्रयत्नशील हैं, तो उसके लिए दे नीड अ लॉट ऑफ एप्रिसिएशन। और एक चीज़ मैं ज़रूर कहूँगा कि जो वैसे अभी मैं थोड़ा लेट आया, लेकिन आई रियली कॉट अपॉन सोशल मीडिया, आई सॉ what was coming on NewsX and stuff, and I was really motivated and thrilled by the people who came before me, and I am really excited to learn something and a lot of things from people who will be coming after me. तो मैं बस एक चीज़ कहूँगा कि मतलब एक कॉमन चीज़ जो मैंने ऑब्जर्व करी है आप सब में, मुझ में, या मैं तो मतलब आप सब अपने अपने फील्ड्स में आपने जितना अच्छा किया है उसको हम एक चीज़ में सरमाइज कर सकते हैं कि there was a time, I think 3 or 4 or 5 years back, it was a different story for every one of you, but you had a thought in mind and you really worked upon it. Or it really took me to actually get upon this, and a few days back I was really motivated and thrilled while I studied stuff about मैथिली शरण गुप्त जी। तो उन्हीं की कविता का कुछ अंश है जो मैं आप सभी के सामने प्रस्तुत करूंगा। कविता पंचवटी है, शायद आप में से कईयों ने सुनी होगी, बहुत ही बड़ा महाकाव्य है। और पंचवटी वैसे तो भगवान श्री राम के जीवन पर आधारित है, और लक्ष्मण जी के बारे में एक छोटा सा सर्ग है जो कि मैं आप सभी के लिए मैं वो प्रस्तुत करूंगा और आप सभी के लिए प्रेरित है। चारुचंद्र की चंचल किरणें, चारुचंद्र की चंचल किरणें खेल रही थी जलथल में, स्वच्छ चांदनी बिकी हुई थी अवनी और अंबर तल में। हरित तड़क पड़ती है नौकी हरित तृणों की नौकों से, मानो झीम रही हो तरुभी मंद भवन के झोंकों से। पंचवटी की छाया में है सुंदर पर्ण कुटीर बना, उसके सम्मुख स्वच्छ शिला पर धीर वीर निर्भीक मना। जाग रहा यह कौन धनुर्धर, जबकि भुवन भर सोता है, भोगी कुसुमा युद्ध योगी सा बना दृष्टिगत होता है। I believe that whatever you all have done is really appreciable, and in all your diaspora and in all your expanding horizons, something that comes is really motivating and beautiful, and each one of you are really worth a lot of appreciation. So just a small thing like this was all the energetic and passionate part, but let's come to the serious story, right? Like, we all have gathered here and seeing a lot of young minds, young activists, young people who are actually trying to do something really good and different in their different fields, coming from different places and working together in order to do something which is really out of the box, right? It really needs a lot of novice and new capabilities, but who are we in reality? I just had this small question in me, and I was just like finding about it a few days back. So, like, I think you might have heard about it quite a few times, but like, we're just orbiting an average galaxy which is yet an underdog and still smaller than its neighbors. We're just in a local cluster with more than 30 or 40,000 of different galaxies, and there's a small local group in which we are just 50. We're just orbiting around an average star, and we're not even able to harness the entire energy of our sun, and the entire humanity, the entire mankind is just learning something at a very slow pace. We are sort of surrendering to sudden outbreaks. We're not ready to face epidemics, and still there's a lot of income disparity. We're not really sure in what our world is heading towards, right? Because there are a lot of different phenomenons and things happening all at once, which I don't think that the nation or the world 200 years back was ready or even the thought of. But now let's get upon the different part of the story, right? In all these years, humankind and mankind has developed in such a tremendous pace that I think it was not very far from today that when people talked about something like steam locomotives and all of these were just on paper. I think in 1767 or so, when people in France were talking about steam engine, there was just a small kid who was working on it, and he was really captivated by the idea of French nationalism. He was really keen into serving his country, and I think that person later came up with this beautiful idea, and after this, the steam engines and every sort of engine, its efficiency was increased by a big factor of, I think, 10 or 15. I think you might have heard about him in your school classes when you study thermodynamics. I believe that each one of you has that potential to serve the nation, to serve humanity in such a way that I think was not presumed much before. Because stories will be created by you and yourself only. You are unique, you're special. The time that when we forget about our individuality, the time when we think that we're not special, we're not unique, is the time when we feel a bit low, a bit weak. When the time comes that we remember that we're who we are, and we remember that we are something different, we are here for doing something special. That is the moment when I think we get up in our pace and do something out of the box. You all have done it. Some of you are 15, some is, I think many are 15, 13, 14, 16. And all these millennial or Gen Z's change makers have done something that was unprecedented, or I think 20 years back, kids of our age were not able to do it, or they didn't have this sort of window open to them. But now I think the world is more open. We have a lot of opportunities, and people are actually using those opportunities in a big and charismatic way, and that is what you have done it. I believe that if you believe in yourself in a really magnificent manner, then you all have great destinies to create. And I think I'm just a small kid. I'm 15 years old, and although I want to be an astrophysicist or rather go in quantum mechanics, so that's a debate for me. Let's see what happens later. But I want to go in fundamental sciences and pursue the rest of my life. I'm willing to devote a large chunk of time in astrophysics or something. That is really beautiful. That what really takes me, and it is majorly quantum mechanics and stuff in physics, and especially physics. And all of you are something different, right? I believe that if all of us, the people who are here, or people who are even listening, or the ones who are not unaware of such an event, if it's happening, all and every single kid, every single millennial who is willing to do something different, I just have a small appeal to all of them. Just realize your potential, realize that who you are, realize your individuality. You need to know that you're unique and you're special. You know, I think Richard Feynman once quoted in his interview, he was talking to a BBC correspondent back in 1970 when he was a chair at Caltech. He quoted and he said in a beautiful manner that there are no miracle people. They're just people who tended to work hard in a specific manner. They put in a lot of amount of time. They worked hard and hard, solved questions, solved problems, worked hand on. And after that, they became who they were. If you want to be a scientist, it's not that you'll start learning calculus from the very basic instinct, right? Things don't come naturally. You have to struggle for it. You have to realize that you're something different. You have to realize that you can do it. And in order to do that, you need to do something different from the normal. There's a path for the ordinary that has been created from several hundred years, and it's advised to follow that. And indeed, if you want to do something decent, it is a really advisable and a good and an easy, comfortable path. But if you want to do something that has not happened till now, you need to take the hardship. Maybe that hardship would not be for a really long time, but when that hardship is over, when you've achieved what you wanted to be, what you had in your mind at the start of your journey, I believe that thing is really motivating, and it takes you for the entire part of your life. Major outbreaks in science and physics come when physicists are of 25 or 30 years of age. Albert Einstein was, in 1905, he gave special theory of relativity. In 1915, he gave general relativity. And in 1940s, he died. The last 30 or 32 or 33 years of his life, he was not doing something that was so different. But I believe that in all those period of time, what he had done in his pre-40 years of life was something that just shook the entire world. It was a revelation, it was a revolution. I believe that each and every one of you has that capability, and if we all of us are same, right? All of us are here for doing something good. All of us are here to learn from each other. I learned a lot of things from everybody who spoke before me. There was a person who wrote something magnificent about Mahabharata. It is really something that is, it is really unique, right? And if you take this idea and work upon it for rest 10 to 20 years of your life, or do something different with that same intensity, then I believe nothing is impossible. India is a nation in which we still have a lot of problems. We still have disputes. We still have problems that are yet noticed. And if you all work in one manner, if you all work in order to solve those problems, if you all work in order to solve real world problems rather than the things that are just on paper, then the results, the outbreaks would be something that I don't think that we have seen something till now what we can do in 20 or 30 years after. In near future, there would be many people who would be coming like us. Some would be, I think, way better than what we are. And I think humans and all of us are evolving at a really steady pace. We're learning every day. Humanity is transforming at each and every point of life. I believe 200 years back, we were not what we are today, and we will do something real great in future. But for that, I think one thing that needs to be really sure and we need to be sure of is that we need to stand as one in solidarity. And if we are willing to be one, then forgetting all our differences, forgetting who we are, and remembering and sharing, embracing that what we are and what we can do together. Because none of us are stronger than all of us. And if you collaborate with everybody who is good, or every trait of a person which is good, then I believe something that is really new comes into the play. Just believe in yourself. These words are something that I think all of us have heard from a lot of time. But the depth of these words is something that I'm searching for, and I believe every one of us is searching for. Everyone has his or her own agenda, his or her own problem, the things that they're coming for, the things and solutions that they're finding. Look at your problem, look at what you want to solve, find your answers, work together. There might be a person who is still maybe in US who's working with the same problem. There might be somebody who's in Central Africa, or somebody even in Pakistan. We can't really say that what world is going through. If we look at good traits of others and use them in our growth, in everyone's growth, and work it in an altruistic way, then I believe that our maturity and our results would be way better. Humanity is facing a lot of crises and a lot of issues which are just near us. If you realize that, if you want to do, or if you want to cope up with those in a beautiful or in an elegant fashion rather than in outbreaks or what happened in mid-20th century, if we don't want to repeat that again, if we don't want the cries of millions and millions of people, then we need to think today. The problem or the solution that we have today is that even though our today is very precarious, even though we don't know that what would happen in just the next point of our lives, we're sure that we'll have a better future. We're sure that we'll have a better tomorrow. And that hope, that relentless hope to do something better, that thing of just forgetting our precariousness and working as one, that solidarity is what represents India, is what represents all of you. I believe India is in your eyes. India is the future, and that is what your future is, that is what our future is. Working for others, working beautifully and in a magnificent way in your core subject, in your core competency, is something that everybody demands for, and that is what the world is really heading towards. In a competing manner, everybody is just like in a rat race and doing something in a monotonous fashion. But I believe if you understand that you are different and you are going to do something that is really different or that has not been seen from a large part of your life and be novice, then the results and the outcomes would be something that only you can predict. In order to do something really magnificent, in order to do something that you want to do, belief and other part come into play. But before that, I believe that you need to realize that you're not alone. In this endless battle of the good and evil, of dark and sun, just understand that there are millions and millions who are with you at every point of your life, because you are on the true side, you're on the right side. The sinister or the dark would always be there, but if you understand that you're on the right side and you're working relentlessly for your efforts, if you're working towards your goal in a good manner, in a good fashion, then the results and everything would be something that we all dream for and we all wish for. I hope that you all and every one of us achieves what we are looking for today. Our future, India's future, the world's future is dependent on our today's actions, and our actions depend on our mentality, on our thought. First, let's improvise our thoughts. Let's work as one. Let's understand that we indeed are here for doing something different. We're not just a simpleton. अगर हम इस बात को समझते हैं कि हम कुछ बड़ा करने के लिए आए हैं और कुछ छोटा करने के लिए तो हम हैं ही नहीं, यही हमको और उससे अलग बनाएगा. हम सभी अलग हैं, हम सभी यूनिक हैं, हम सभी डिफरेंट हैं. उन सभी चीज़ों को एम्ब्रेस कर अगर हम एक होके आगे बढ़ते हैं और अपनी कैपेबिलिटीज़ को, अपने डिफरेंसेस को, सब चीज़ों को समझकर अपने गोल की तरफ लगे रहते हैं, फिर भारत और पूरा विश्व एक ऐसा कल देखेगा जो शायद हमारे बड़ों ने 1947 में, 1945 में, या जिन लोगों ने भी, जिन्होंने मानवता के लिए कुछ बड़ा किया है, जब उन्होंने जैसा विश्व सोचा होगा, शायद वैसा या उस जैसा हम कुछ बना सकें. Ludwig Boltzmann and other people, they suicided in 1906. Copernicus was a person who faced a lot of backlash. But even though great people might face a lot of backlash in their journey of struggle, at the end, when history remembers them, they remember that these people were on the right side when the entire world was with the dark, with the wrong forces. If you are true with yourself, if you know that I am on the right side, if you know that you are rectus, then history will remember you for being on the right side at the right time. At each point of time, we're being more altruistic, people are being more philanthropic, but at the same time, the dark forces, as you might say, are rising. The dark forces within us are rising. We need to first face them, and if you are willing to face them, if you are willing to stand in front of them in real, then we need to be true to ourselves. And if we are true to ourselves, and if we know that we are doing something good, and if we are putting efforts, then I believe from these kids only, from all of us, the next people, the next leaders would come out. The people who are actually on the stages in today's world were the ones who just sacrificed that part of enjoyment of theirs and worked in order to work hard and in order to work for their goal. And then I'd just say that believe in yourself, and there are a lot of endeavors that people are looking for, and there are a lot of things that we all are finding today and tomorrow. Just understand them, and if you are willing to do something good, if you are willing to do something different, then believe in yourself and look at your elders, look at the people who have done something good, and pave your own path, because you are different and you're something that that world has not seen till now. So just know who you are and work in order to work for that. I believe that you do something different, right? I have that belief in you, in every one of you, the people who have heard till now, especially in them, and I'm sure that every one of you, regardless of age, regardless of anything, every one of you is worth a lot of appreciation, you're worth a lot of claps, you're worth a lot of salutes. Just remember your words, and whatever is true for you, work in that manner. I believe that the world would be better, and we all would do something really well in future. Thank you.
Thank you, Kautilya. Yeah.
Are you planning to change your name now that there's ChatGPT? Do you want to call yourself ChatGPT boy?
नहीं, I'm okay with Kautilya Pandit दो, लेकिन आप प्यार से जो भी कुछ बोलेंगे वो सब अच्छा ही लगेगा, क्योंकि
मुझे पता है कि आपसे कोई भी क्वेश्चन पूछा जाए तो आप बता सकते हो.
वैसे मैं बस इस बात के लिए क्लैरिफाई करूंगा, कोई तो मतलब ज्ञान तो अथाह है. देखिए, अगर कोई सर्वज्ञ तो हो ही नहीं सकता, लेकिन हाँ मैं पढ़ता हूँ.
राहुल गांधी का जन्मदिन कब होता है? आप स्ट्रगल्स की बात कर रहे थे इसलिए मुझे याद आ गया.
नहीं ऐसे मतलब आप you can ask me something about astronomy, anything about physics, and because I'm really working in those fields and I'm devoting my time in that, and if you may feel free to ask anybody anything about in that manner. लेकिन हाँ ऐसी चीज़ तो मतलब बहुत सारी हम आप ऐसे भी पूछ सकते हैं कि मतलब मेरे घर के पीछे मतलब वो जो शर्मा जी हैं वे कहाँ रहते हैं, लेकिन मेरे को कैसे पता हो सकता है.
All the best.
Thank you sir. जी sir.
You talked about
Actually, wonderfully, you have explained all the historical facts about the thermodynamics and then steam engines and then Einstein. I really appreciate, not only appreciate, I admire that you know such a vast thing about the history. One thing you said about astronomy, you missed one person, that is Stephen Hawking. He's the scientist of the century.
Yes, sir.
And Einstein has developed theoretically something, but he has taken up to the practical aspect of those things. And you know, he has written 2-3 books on this astronomy, and then he said that this universe is not only one universe, there are the multiple universes. And he has said also that people would not have been believing some centuries ago that human brain could have learned, you could have imagined, and could have reached to the origin of the universe formation. So my question is this, do you have any idea about what Stephen Hawking has thought about the future? We have reached to Chandrayaan 3, to the Chandrama on Chandrayaan 3. But there were a lot of things already developed in the field of astronomy. Okay? So I just want to know about the Stephen Hawking.
Yes, sir. So in recent past, many Stephen Hawking sir की एक book भी आती है, मतलब it's very famous, The Brief History of Time, Big Question, and there are 2 separate books which are really famous and which are in the market. So Stephen Hawking worked while he was the Lucasian Chair of Mathematics at Cambridge. He worked alongside Roger Penrose, and his main field was searching on black holes, and he gave Hawking radiation and different things. तो along with अमूल कुमार राय चौधरी, उन्होंने एक चीज़ कही थी in 1990s, जो आप बात कर रहे हो, of multi-universe, and मतलब there are a lot of universe, there are a lot of histories at once, there are a lot of simulations. तो वो बात Langlands एक प्रॉब्लम है जो कि मैथमेटिक्स की है, उसको उन्होंने इम्प्लीमेंट किया था उस बात को, और वो वहाँ से ये सारी थियोरीज और ये सारे आइडियाज़ निकल कर आए हैं, और अभी हम उन पे काम कर रहे हैं. मतलब मैं तो नहीं, लेकिन हाँ, मैं तो एक ऑब्जर्वर हूँ, बहुत छोटा सा स्टूडेंट हूँ, लेकिन हाँ, लोग स्पेशली एट मतलब कैलटेक के अंदर इसके ऊपर रिसर्च चल रही है, और आगे आगे देखते हैं क्या होता है. मतलब आई थिंक इन नियर फ्यूचर वी आर होपफुल दैट विल फाइंड समथिंग दैट इज डिफरेंट एंड विल फाइंड समथिंग दैट इज रियली गुड.
What do you think about multi-universes?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Kautilya. Please be in center stage. I request Mr. Saurabh Banerjee, founder and MD of My Take Private Limited, to kindly come on stage and give away a token of appreciation. You give the mic to me.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.